It depends. That is going to be the topic of this episode of Chi Life. Alright, so this topic comes from a t-shirt that I saw someone wearing at the National Qigong Association conference. That made me smile because on the back of this t-shirt it had a quote, and I think there was a bit more to the quote than just this part, but then a very prominent part of it was, "It depends." And this was a quote from someone's either Qigong or Tai Chi teacher, and clearly whoever this teacher is, I wasn't familiar with the name, said this so much that their students thought that this was worth putting on the back of a t-shirt. And look, I also say it depends a lot. It's maybe not the sort of thing that I'd necessarily want on a t-shirt with my name. I wouldn't mind if it was. There's another thing I say quite a lot that I actually have on a t-shirt. I haven't made these widely available, but I thought it was a fun one. I'm not going to undo my shirt any further, but as a quote, one thing I say a lot is energy work is real work. I think that's a good quote. It's a good thing to remind people of, because they often, they forget about just, they think working with energy is something in your mind, you're imagining it. Where it's like, no, you're doing real things, and you need to understand and respect that to get the most out of it and to not cause yourself any harm and so on. But anyway, it made me smile to see this t-shirt with "It depends," because again, that is something I say a lot, and so much so that I have had some people, and they kind of turn it into a running joke, on any topic, that the answer is going to be "it depends." But there's a good reason for that, and it's because so many things, to understand them well, we need to understand the context that they're being spoken about, that they're being applied to reduce things down. And I think often people would like just a really simple, short, concise answer. And there's a place for simple, short, concise answers, but that often can, in the wrong context, those simple, short, concise answers, rather than helping people to understand, can actually become a barrier to their understanding, because they can then think, well, that's the answer, look no further, and think that answer that applied in one context is universal and applies in all contexts. And that is almost never the case. Now, is there a place for simple, short, concise answers? Yeah, of course there is. And that will be, often like, how does this apply in this particular context? Okay, simple, short. In this particular context, it works like this, it applies like this. And I'm happy to give those short answers when that is the context in which I'm answering. Of course, a lot of the time when I'm answering questions, most of the time, I'm teaching people who are wanting to become Qigong instructors themselves, or possibly even if they don't want to become Qigong instructors themselves, they're wanting to really deepen their understanding of Qigong. And in that context, we're all going to have different situations in our lives where principles are going to apply in different ways, and I want people to understand that. I want them to be able to understand the essence, the principles, and then be able to apply them in whatever context, whatever situation they're faced with, to do that well, to really know what they're doing, really understand it, as opposed to just repeating a rule, which may or may not serve them well as situations change or in different contexts. And so, it often means that my answers are, or they can be, a little bit lengthy. But again, that's the context that generally I'm answering in, where that is generally appropriate to give that broader understanding so people can apply things well. Now again, is there value in being concise? Absolutely, there is. And one of the things I'm quite aware of is often these vlogs get a bit long and rambly, because I do want to talk about different aspects of things and include them, and often, well, almost always, I haven't necessarily planned or prepared very much for these vlogs. They're just quickly recorded, when there's an opportunity, and so they can be a bit rambly. And at some point, I'm planning to prepare these much better, to do them in a much more concise form, probably still giving context, giving different sides to an answer or application of a principle, so people can, you know, I'll never be able to be truly comprehensive in all possible ways something can be applied, because that's infinite, right? But to at least give enough context to give nuance to understanding, so people can realize, like, I need to think about how I apply this principle to different situations. Here's a couple of examples, and another example it might apply differently again. So that sets them up well to truly understand and apply their knowledge in a useful, healthy way. So, but yes, at some point, probably, we'll see. That may not be too far away. I'll probably start doing these kinds of videos in a more concise way, but still with context too. Alright, so for anyone who finds me too rambly, I was going to apologize, but kind of too bad for now. It's what I managed to do. I think there's value, you know, for those who can get through the rambling to, you know, pick up knowledge and information. But I do realize I could be more concise, and I plan to do that at some point as well. But my answers are probably still often going to be in the form of, it depends. It depends, to give people more sides of the story, so they can apply their knowledge well. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the vlog. I look forward to seeing you on another one soon.